Welcome to Season 6 of Lifestyle Overland. This new chapter of travel begins with a foray into the West Desert of Utah, where I'm attempting to escape the snow and find some warmer weather. And for this first trip of the new year, I'm riding solo in a 4Runner named Silver, while Sarah, Caroline, and her newest family member Abigail stay warm with visiting family back at base camp. Since Sarah has some help in town, I've taken the opportunity to range out and explore an area that we've never touched on our travels. So, with hopes of some sunshine, hot springs, a bit less snow, and maybe even some wild mustangs, I made my way to the first camp of the new year. Alright, well howdy folks, welcome to another adventure, and yes, it is quite chilly. We actually had to drive a pretty good distance to get out of a lot of this snow. Utah has been slammed this winter. I think we're at 200% snowpack, and we've still got 2 or 3 more months of potential snow that could fall. So up in the areas that I'd hoped to explore this winter, there's 3, 4, maybe 5 feet of snow. So we have come west. We're in the West Desert and looking forward to exploring this area because, let me tell you, in the summertime, it's a little too hot to be out here. We were looking at negative temperature up in the mountains, and so we've dropped down here to the desert floor. It is still chilly, as you can tell, but we don't have any wind, and hopefully it's not going to get too doggone cold. But we do have our secret weapon, the diesel heater, which we'll get out here in a minute. Get that thing cranking and keep the tent warm. I am flying solo this time. As you may or may not know, we have a new family member. Arrived December 31st, Abigail Lee, and she's happy, healthy, back at home with Mom and Caroline and her grandmother, and so they're hanging out there. It's been about 4 weeks since she was born, so it was time for me to get out here and share a little bit more adventure with you guys. So let's see what we can get into. Alright, it's time to fire up our secret weapon. If you've been following the channel, you know I just released a review video on this thing. Power it up. And tonight we're powering it off of the Blue Eddy. I opted not to bring my big home-built battery system just to see how the Blue Eddy does in the cold weather. So we'll see what happens. It's getting cold though. Come on, little guy. You can do it. Priming the pump. Good morning, folks. Another chilly night last night. Even got just a dusting of snow. Stayed nice and toasty in here, but I will say, I had a little bit of a scare. I thought my diesel heater had died again. Right after I got done saying, yeah, it's worth all the trouble and we got it dialed. Is this diesel heater worth jumping through all the hoops and all the tweaks to get it up and running? I say yes. Come to find out, I had set it on a fairly deep spot of snow, and overnight it had melted one end of its footprint and was sitting at a 45-degree angle, and so the fuel pickup couldn't pick up the fuel that was on the other side of the tank. So, easy fix. We'll definitely get the shovel out and dig that thing down to bare ground next go around. But still, decent night's sleep, and I'm ready on the trail. First, coffee, and maybe a little breakfast. Not the greatest chair for this. Over there. Don't try this at home. Oh yeah. That'll work. Oh yeah. Got some fried, bacon fried eggs. Some bacon fried bacon. Strawberry yogurt. Blueberries. Smoked chipotle Tabasco. Thanks to Billy and Trina for leaving that one with me. Miss you guys. Oh. Well, I've said it before. There's nothing more peaceful than being out here in the snow. It just soaks up all that sound. Talk about solitude. Alright, I'm gonna pound this and we're gonna get on the trail. Let's see what we can get into. Well, this was a fun little side trip. Not much in the way of epic camps or anything like that. Just a beautiful little trail with some crazy rock formations. Honestly, if it wasn't for the snow, it'd probably be pretty bleak because there was a fire that came through here in the not too distant past. But still, today, she's cloaked in a glorious veil of snowy goodness. Well, I've explored a little bit further north, and while I haven't gained hardly any altitude, the snow cover is just next level. I think there's probably 18 inches, maybe 2 feet of snow. I'm currently on a BLM road, or a county road. It's actually been plowed. If it hadn't been plowed, I would not be doing this. That just would be impossible. So I'm trying to track a little further west now and see if we get a reprieve from the snow. And if my plan works out, I might be camping near a hot spring tonight, or at least stopping by to take a look at it. So let's see if this works out. Otherwise, got some backtracking to do. So I just had to stop for a second because this is just like a whole nother world. I mean, generally this would just be grassland, not covered in this much snow. And there's trails that run out that way, but, and even one right there. There's so much snow here though, it's just shut all that down. Now granted, I could give it a try, but I mean, we're looking at 18 inches right here. And then if there's a drift out there, that'll be fun. I would have expected this up in the mountains, but not down here at 5,000 feet, which I guess technically is the mountains for some people, but not for Utah. This is low country, desert. Gonna keep heading west, I guess. See if we can't find some open trails. Well, that didn't work out. Apparently, what's underneath this snow turned into soup for this excavator who was clearing my path, and they had to quit. This is gnarly. Look at this stuff. It's about 3 feet deep down there. Wow. It's like you went a little bit further and buried it, and that was it. So, time to backtrack. Well, it's getting interesting now. For the most part, these roads have been froze solid. But we've dropped about 500 feet in altitude, and this must have had some sun on it today. So I can't stop. I just can't even stop at this point. Just roll through it. Thankfully, it's probably only about another quarter mile to where I'm hoping to camp. But yeah, this is not ideal trail conditions. This is not something that I had hoped for. And if I'd known it was this bad, I might have picked another route, but we're committed at this point. Silver got a mud bath. Well, it looks like we might have this all to ourselves. Wow. It's wild that this just comes up out of the ground. Just random places. And the right temperature that you can just like hang out in it. Oh man. Well, I think it's time for a quick little dip. Warm up just a bit, especially since I've got it all to myself here tonight. Crazy spot. All right, I've got camp set up over there. One thing I forgot to bring was a towel, and I have a bathing suit, but that's no good if it's just freezing cold. So I lit the diesel heater, so my tent is currently turning into a sweat lodge. So it'll be nice and toasty as I make my run across here. But in the meantime, I want to soak right here, and I brought the campfire over. Got this whole place to myself. You know, just gonna make myself comfortable, if you know what I mean. If you've never sat in a hot spring, you're missing out on one of life's essential experiences. Well, thanks for riding along. It's been fun today. What a rewarding end to a long drive through questionable roads and routes. But we're here. I'm gonna enjoy this. Probably just something quick and easy for dinner. Back on the trail in the morning. But until then, remember to stay curious and leave it better than you found it. Wow.